Hearing none, I will accept the motion for approval. Julie moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have 2 seconds. So, okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, the minutes are approved. Thank you, Sarah. So, Annie, you got any updates on the coffee talks?
Basically, they're continuing to go smoothly. We've been going on for several weeks now, and for my own partner, Christian, who's one of the dispatchers in Esslingen, we've now had 4 coffee conversations, and they've been going really well. You know, they're just informal conversations to help with English. We've just been talking about things like hobbies and car culture and comparing in the U.S. Versus Germany. It's been really fun, and I've also noticed that, at least with my partner, that his English, he's definitely getting more comfortable talking in English the more that we've been conversing. So as far as I can tell, it's continuing to be a very successful program and going along very smoothly. And also thanks to Carly at the Sheboygan Fire Department for all the coordination effort that she's been putting in.
Very good. That's great. I was going to ask, are you guys getting a German accent when you're speaking English now? No? Okay. Okay, thanks. Any questions for Annie?
Annie, I think one of the things that we maybe talked about last month was if there had been any outreach to the Sheboygan-based emergency responders, and you did have a response to that, correct?
Yes, thank you, Sarah, for reminding me. Basically the consensus from Carly, who I think had talked to 1 or 2 other folks about it, was that that wouldn't add value at the point we were already at in the program. So since every sort of pairing of conversations have already been going, and it seems to be going pretty well so far. So yeah, between Sarah and I, we did bring that back to the group, but the decision was made to just continue the program as it's been going.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for Annie? Well, thanks a lot for doing that, Annie. Really appreciate it. So,
of course.
Okay, our Esslingen trip in 2022. I did check the recent travel restrictions in Germany, and they're still fairly tight. They're not accepting tourism because you can't stay overnight in a motel for tourists right now. You can if you're a business traveler, but not a tourist. And the restrictions right now are you have to have a COVID test within 48 hours of traveling, et cetera. So it is pretty tight right at this moment. But with that being said, I think you talked about it last, so we haven't been any contact with Discovery Tours, but so what's the feeling about going forward with this? I mean, we can always, my feeling is we can continue to go forward with this and start some plans, and we can always put a hold on them, but what's the feelings of the group? It's going to be on this agenda every month, so. Julie?
It is at least a year away. We can't do anything about it yet. I think we just put it on aside for now, just table it for a while. There's nothing much we can do anyway now. So let's just keep it on the back burner and keep bringing it up every month and see what happens. But I think there's nothing we can do right now about it. So let's not even waste our time on it.
So we're saying just keep it on the agenda every month?
I agree. I agree with Julie. Maybe what we could think about is next September instead of next May.
Well, we originally we talked about May, right? Because historically the prices were a little cheaper in May than they were in September. So I mean that would push it up. I'm just saying that,
keep an open mind for May and September of next year.
Yeah, no, I would concur with that. So, okay, well, then we'll keep that tabled until the next month. Okay, Mike, you got some information about the youth symphony?
During the month, I sent an email to Catherine, and I haven't gotten a reply yet. I asked her to present the idea to Mayor Ziegler and see what his feelings were on it. So we're still waiting to see if they're going to be accepting and want to proceed with some talks to organize this youth symphony exchange. So we'll
Okay.
keep you posted, put it on the next month's meeting, and we'll hopefully have an update by then.
Okay, great, thank you. We'll keep that moving forward. Okay, next is the future possible fundraisers. I know, Cole, you had talked about, I kind of knew you still had some of the cranes, so that can be something we can, continue on. Is there, the Levitt amp you talked about, any other future ideas, or is that something we want to just keep on the agenda every month and see, once we know where we're going and what's happening, that we start doing that? Because I do have some information about Esslingen Fest, so that, that's a fundraiser. So any other comments about the fundraising? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Okay, Esslingen Fest, I did talk, I keep in contact with Three Sheeps and keep asking what's going on there. I did talk to one of the employees who kind of runs some of the events, and I didn't talk to James this month, but there is an intention to want to bring back events in some form. They said they're probably, right now, feel more comfortable during warmer times so they can have the events with the doors open. So that would, once we find out, does that mean, we make sure that we move it up a little earlier to ensure that the doors would be open, et cetera. So, I was thinking, if no objection, is I just tell James that when you do open up, we would like to get on the schedule, and if we want to have an Esslingen Fest this year. Any objection to that? Okay, I'll just keep in contact with Three Sheeps, and when they let us know what's happening, if they're going to do it, we'll do it. I mean, I heard they'd be open to a drive-through too, even if we would have that rather than a full event. So that's still a possibility. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. Who was that sent that article for the Facebook page?
Oh, Annie did the last one.
Oh, Annie, thanks for doing that for the Facebook page. That was fantastic. I really appreciate that. So here again, just keep thinking about, there's got to be some organizations that that have relationships, more of a person-to-person relationship with other countries. And hopefully we can continue that and promote that Sheboygan is can be an international city, even if it's Canada or any other country. It'd be great. So, Mike, I was asking I know you're pretty busy at this time, but if you could just put a little blurb together about the Great Lakes, because you have relationships with the mayors in Canada, right? If you could just paragraph or two, and if you got a picture, even a picture from last time we had our event, that we could put on our Facebook page, that that's an important event. Okay, thanks. Okay, and we're moving along here. The Suwannee Sister City relationship, next steps in the subcommittee. Is there any report? Yep, Cole.
Yeah, I'd be glad to give a quick update. So,
And Cole's up here
and actually,
too.
it looks like maybe Cole stood up as well. So I'll just briefly say, between Cole and Betty and I, we've been in touch and just have been talking a little bit further about some more ideas about really getting together some type of student delegation or something similar to that. And then in the run up to that, what we've been talking about so far has been that it would probably be most fruitful for there to be some one or two folks from this committee to travel to Tsubame, of course, once it's safe to do so, for a smaller diplomatic trip, really to show them more than just saying in words, in emails back and forth and that sort of thing, but really to show them that we are committed to kind of rekindling this sister city relationship. So those are a couple of the things that we talked about, and also some fundraiser stuff that Cole had been doing. I know he has expressed interest in ramping that back up. So yeah, I'll let him take it from here.
All right. So as far as the fundraising goes, next month I'll be bringing in a mock-up of a crane mobile, something that can hang with 50 or 100 cranes on there as a small example of that. And my plan before COVID hit was to have a stand at the farmer's market and sell these cranes or some other items as, for the fundraiser for our trip to Tsubame, and for awareness to what we're doing. Besides that, we are getting together a virtual meeting, I believe, tentatively next week to start talking about communications with Tsubame. And hopefully we'll put together another email and requesting to have a virtual meeting with them. So the subcommittee will request to start having a virtual with whoever on their end deals with their international affairs and start dialogue. Okay. And then after that, then we can report. So.
Okay. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it. I think it'd be interesting if you could, I don't know, if in the communication, if you could get some sense in how they're feeling about the Olympics being held in Japan, especially in the area. And I don't know if you saw it, but we have a young man from Sheboygan that has a potential to make the Olympic team this year, a high school student. So it'd be exciting if that would pan out. So, okay, anything else about that? Thanks, Cole and Annie. Really appreciate you keeping us up on there. So, any other business or comments? The next meeting is May 6th, and that's generally our reorganization meeting where we elect officers for the year. So that will come up on May 6th. So Mike, do you have a comment?
I'd just like to remind everybody that these appointments are for 1 year for the committee. So Sarah will be sending out an email asking you if you want to continue. You can just respond to that, and we'll try to work things out for everybody.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
If I get reelected.
So, thank you, Mayor. So, if there's no other business come before this group, I will ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, Patrick, and we'll take Carolyn as a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll get this. One of these months, we'll have a lot of